Life after 50 can leave you with more questions than answers. But what if those questions are actually a doorway to your next chapter? I'm Dee Dee Sung, and we're going to explore why midlife can feel so unsettling, and more importantly, what's really happening beneath the surface. By the end of this video, you'll have practical steps to navigate this season of change with greater confidence and feel more grounded along the way. You see, times of transition often bring discomfort, but that discomfort signals growth, a unique opportunity to transform and reconnect with your true self. For many women, this shift isn't just external, it can be deeply emotional. You might find yourself questioning everything from your relationships and career to your body and even your place in the world. Now, whether you're navigating changes in relationships, redefining your career, or embracing a new chapter, midlife is a shared experience, and every woman's story matters. And when these shifts happen, it's natural to wonder, is something wrong with me? The truth is, acceptance is the first step to embracing the discomfort that leads to transformation in midlife. These changes are not a sign of failure. They're a natural part of aging, essential for growth. You might be stepping away from long-held roles, whether as a partner, a parent, caretaker, or professional, and facing the reality that what once defined you no longer holds the same meaning. And that can feel really unsettling. And after years of building a career or raising a family, seeing those roles shift can feel like the rug is being pulled out from under you. You may not recognize the version of yourself looking back in the mirror. And that's okay. And you might be asking yourself, what comes next? And while it may feel like you've lost your sense of self, midlife is actually an invitation to redefine who you are. It's not about what you've lost or you're leaving behind. It's about using the lessons, the experiences, and the strengths you've gained to uncover the next chapter of your life. You're not defined by the roles you've played or the titles you've carried. Midlife is a space to explore a new version of yourself, one more in tune with your values, your desires, and your inner wisdom. And yet, it can be uncomfortable, but that discomfort signals you're on the edge of transformation, not stagnation. For most of my life, I'd taken direction from others. Family expectations, old conditioning, and the quiet yet very strong belief that I couldn't figure things out on my own. By my early 50s, that voice had convinced me it was too late to start something new. But then I had a moment of clarity. What if it wasn't too late? So I followed a dream and enrolled in a master's program in my mid-50s. It was monumental. I was working full-time, balancing classes, deadlines, and a constant hum of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Yet I kept coming back to my why, envisioning the woman who would one day cross that graduation stage. And when I finally did, the pride I felt was unlike anything I'd known. Makes me teary, and here's what was most liberating. I didn't do it for anyone else's approval or anyone else's definition of success. It was for me. And that moment, it reminded me it is never too late to trust yourself, to be courageous and take that next step, no matter the stories you tell yourself. And when I think about what it took to get through everything that was required, long days, the doubts, and the discipline, I recognize now that it was grace that saw me through. Because I was being true to what I wanted. And that alignment between what mattered to me, what I was willing to work for, and what I trusted in became its own kind of compass. And that's the thing about midlife. These changes reach beyond emotion. Our bodies, our minds, and hearts all shift as we navigate this new chapter. The way we experience the world and ourselves begins to evolve, and we may not always recognize who we're becoming. This is all part of the unfolding that happens as we move through midlife. Yet we live in a society that often prioritizes youth, leaving women in midlife feeling invisible and unheard. It can be isolating to feel like your story isn't being told. Mainstream culture often sidelines women in their 50s and beyond as irrelevant, and the media's constant celebration of youth, beauty, and vitality can leave women in midlife feeling unseen. In this season of life, many of us begin to feel like we've been written out of the cultural story. It's isolating to experience such a dramatic disconnect between how society sees you and how you feel inside. But it's through acceptance of this disconnect that we begin to unlock the wisdom, power, and purpose of midlife. This phase is about embracing who you are becoming and accepting the transformation along the way. And in doing so, we begin to change the narrative around midlife. Now you may be asking yourself, who am I now? What happens when the roles we've played for so long start to fade and we're left wondering what comes next? One of the most challenging aspects of midlife is the shift in identity. When for years we've carried certain roles, whether as a parent, partner, or professional, and those roles define much of, if not all of who we were. But what happens when those roles begin to change or fade? Maybe your kids are grown, you've retired, or your career no longer brings you the fulfillment it once did. And when those external identities start to shift, it can create a sense of internal uncertainty, even vulnerability. The question of who am I now then shifts to who am I becoming? And while it's not always an easy one to answer, it's in that space of uncertainty that we begin to discover what truly matters to us now. So how do we move through this phase and find the clarity we're yearning for, especially when the journey can feel so overwhelming? Well, taking practical steps helps you navigate discomfort and uncover a deeper sense of purpose and alignment. And know that this unsettling feeling doesn't mean your life is off track. It's actually the first sign of new possibilities beginning to emerge. And that discomfort you feel, well, it isn't a setback. It's growth unfolding as you welcome new aspects of yourself and what lies ahead. This phase of uncertainty is just one chapter in a much larger story. It's leading you to a deeper understanding of yourself. Midlife is a chance to reimagine what's possible, and leaning into discomfort is a vital part of discovering yourself and what matters most right now. In this phase, well, it offers you the chance to redefine yourself and discover those new possibilities. It's the perfect moment for you to ask new questions and consider paths you've held at bay. And while that may feel daunting at first, there are practical ways to navigate this phase and start moving forward with greater clarity and courage. Let's have a look at them. Step 1. Give yourself permission to feel unsettled and accept what comes up. Because midlife isn't about having all the answers, it's about accepting the unknown. Be willing to sit with the discomfort, listen to your inner voice, your lighthouse, and let clarity emerge through stillness and reflection. And step 2, tune into what lights you up now. Midlife is a perfect time to shift your focus from what you should want to what genuinely excites you. Ask yourself, what feels meaningful or energizing to me today? You see, every tiny moment, each quiet reflection can and will point the way forward. Those sparks of excitement, well, they're clues to what's next. Don't ignore them, as they'll guide you towards your next chapter. And step 3, start small. You don't need to reinvent your life overnight, not possible. Small, intentional actions lead to meaningful change, whether it's picking up a hobby, trying something new, or connecting with others. Each step brings you closer to clarity. And finally, step 4, build your tribe. Midlife can feel isolating, but you don't have to face it alone. In fact, that's the last thing you want to do. Connect with women on a similar path through friends, meaningful online communities like Follow Your Lighthouse, or other circles that lift you up. Sharing experiences, encouragement, and insights makes the journey feel lighter and more navigable. Now, what's one small change you can make today to embrace the discomfort and take your first step towards your next chapter. You see, these steps are not about rushing or forcing change to happen. They're about tuning in. They're about reflecting and moving forward in alignment with who you're becoming. And remember, clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from noticing, releasing what no longer serves you, and trusting yourself as you navigate this next chapter. Elizabeth Gilbert reminds us, embrace the glorious mess that you are. Because midlife, it is messy. Midlife is beautiful and it's brimming with possibilities. It's the perfect time to shed what no longer serves you and step into what this next chapter has in store. Now take time, move at your own pace, and pay attention to what matters most. Your next chapter is waiting, ready to reveal more of who you're becoming. And if this message resonates, subscribe to Follow Your Lighthouse and share in the comments what part of midlife feels most unsettling to you right now, or what insight from today's video spoke to you most. Your story might be exactly what another woman needs to hear. Next, we'll explore letting go and moving forward in midlife, how to stop carrying the weight of old stories and finally feel lighter about what's next. You won't want to miss it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.